Hello, Elder students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we are going to be learning about the little f word today. But before we learn the little f word, we have to make sure we're really good at the big D word because the little f word is only doing the big D word twice. So, what is the big D word? You should know the big D word by now. It's distribute or distribution. We have to be very good at distribution. Otherwise, we won't be able to handle the little f word. So let's practice some distribution right now. And again, go ahead and pause and see if you can distribute properly on these three problems. If you can't, then back up. You're going to need some more practice. But we have to be really good at distribution before we can handle the little f word. All right, first of all, I'm going to distribute this 2, and I'm going to multiply everything in the quantity by the 2. And 2 times 5x is 10x. And 2 times negative 3 is negative 3. And there we go. Wow, that was hard. All right, let's multiply 4x squared times 5x, and let's multiply that times 6, and 4 times 5 is 20. X squared times x is x cubed, minus 24x squared, and there we go. All right, now we're going to distribute a negative 5x. So we're going to multiply here, we're going to multiply here, we're going to multiply here, and we're going to multiply here. Now, some of you like to draw the arrows, then you don't distribute. It doesn't make sense. The arrows are to remind you to distribute. So I've got a negative 5x times a 6x to the fourth. What would be a negative 30x to the fifth? Multiply 5 times 6, negative 5 times 6, and x to the fourth. Now I'm going to multiply negative 5 times negative 2, get a positive 10, and then I'm going to get an x to the fourth. Okay, minus 5x squared and plus a 35x. There you go. That is the big D word. Now, when we do the little f word, which you're ready to hear now, is FOIL, we're actually just going to do the big D word twice. FOIL is an acronym that stands for first, outer, inner, and last. And it just remembers what we have to multiply together so that we don't miss anything. Okay? So FOIL, first, outer, inner, last. So let's see how this works. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply my firsts together. Well, those are the first terms in each quantity. That's the F part. Okay. Now I'm going to show this a lot of work to do this. It really isn't a lot of work, but to begin with, some of you might need to see all the work before you can do it. My first ends up being 6x squared. Okay. Now I'm going to do my outers, my terms on the outsides, kind of like bookends. Okay. So my outers end up being 2x times 4, which of course is 8x. It's a positive 8x. All right, now I'm going to do my inners, which will be the ones on the insides, the 1 and a 3 specifically. And so I'll have a 1 times a 3x. And that'll get me a positive 3x. Notice I'm keeping the signs in. And then finally I'll do my lasts, the ones at the ends of the quantities. And so the last will be 1 times 4. And that's a positive. Now this answer shouldn't look right to you. It should look incomplete because I have some like terms. Won't always have like terms, but many times I will. I have a positive 8x and a positive 3x. I should combine my like terms and get 6x squared plus 11x plus 4. And there you go. Now I got to caution you. A lot of you think x times x is x. It's not. Is 3 times 3 3? 7 times 7 7? No, of course not. You can think of 3 times 3 as 3 squared if you like. Well, therefore, x times x equals x squared. If you miss the square right here, you'll end up combining your F, O, and L terms, your first outers and inners, and you will get the wrong answer and you'll have no idea why, and it'll all be because of that simple mistake. Try not to make that simple mistake. In fact, don't try not to make it. Don't make that simple mistake. All right, I'm going to multiply my firsts. Problem number 5. 6x times 2x, 12x squared. I'm going to do my outers. Okay, that'll be 6x times 4. That'll be a positive 24x. Do my inners. Looks like that'll be a negative 6x. Then I'm going to do my lasts. I'm going to do negative 12. Okay, so my firsts are 12x squared. I have some like terms here. I think I'm going to get a positive 18x and then minus 12. And there you go. All right, let's drop down to 6 and 7. All right, gonna do my firsts. Gonna get 56x squared. Sorry about that. There's my firsts. Okay, get my outers. Looks like those will be negative 28x. My inners will be negative 8x. And my lasts will be plus 4. Combining my like terms, 56x squared minus 36x plus 4. And there you go. All right, number 7. Excuse me. I'm not going to write down the FOIL. I'm just going to do my firsts and get 60. I'm going to do my outers and get a positive 24x. My inners a negative 10x. And my lasts will give me a negative 4x squared. All right, I'm going to get 60 plus 14x minus 4x squared. I like to write these in descending order. It looks better to me. It did not say to write them in descending order, so you don't have to, but it just looks more formal to me. All right, one last problem. And this one's kind of cool. I like this one a lot. I'm going to do my first, and I'm going to get 9x squared, right? Right there. We're going to do my outers and get a 15x. My inners will give me a negative 15x. And then my lasts will give me a negative 25th. And so these will cancel out. I'll be left with 9x squared minus 25. And this is a very special pattern when we do the big F word. Okay, I'll draw more attention to that later. All right, well, that is the little f word, or foiling. If you need to rewatch it, go ahead. But it shouldn't be too difficult. You're just double distributing. You're distributing twice. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.